What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new YouTube video. My name is Russell Orhi. I am a two-time world champion powerlifter, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to make deadlifts a little bit easier inside of commercial gyms.
Oh my goodness! He's done it! World champion. The crowd rallying behind him.
Right now, we're actually in my home gym, Corrupted Strength. This is a powerlifting gym that kind of like caters to powerlifters and makes it a lot more welcoming for the powerlifting community to come and get the best possible lifts in. Some of the things that we're gonna need in order to go deadlift effectively and as best as we possibly can inside of a commercial gym is number one, shoes. Shoes I'm currently wearing, literally not what you wanna wear. These are like pushing me like inches off the ground, and that's literally gonna be making like a deficit pull. So I got my Nike wrestling shoes. These are flat soles, the actual insole taken out, so it makes me a lot closer to the ground. Then we have my belt. That's gonna allow me to brace, push a little bit more weight. Next thing we need to get is chalk. Commercial gyms do not allow you to have chalk, but we need chalk. Like there's no like ifs, ands, or buts. I don't use straps. We absolutely need chalk. I just need to make sure I get like a baggie, like some type of little plastic container or something. We'll figure it out, but we need the chalk. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it. I love deadlift because deadlift, you don't need a lot of equipment. Squats is completely different. You need like knee sleeves, wrist wraps, belt, shoes, this whole thing. I noticed a lot of people do train in a commercial gym. A lot of people that watch my videos, all they have is commercial gyms to kind of go to. And deadlift is one of the lifts, I would say after bench, it's the toughest lift to do inside a commercial gym. And when we get to the gym, I want to show you guys why. And then hopefully I'm gonna give you guys some tips that are gonna make your deadlift sessions a little bit easier whenever you guys are choosing to deadlift inside of a commercial gym. So let's get to it. All right, so plastic baggie magically appeared. So let's go inside the gym. Sidebar, if you guys are looking for a nice powerlifting gym to come check out and you're in the Houston area, feel free to slide over to Corrupted Strength. Okay, so we don't need like a big thing of chalk. We just need like 2 little blocks. This should be enough. I'm not one of those over chalk users or anything like that. I just need something to take away the moisture in my hands so I can grip the bar properly. Should we good to go? Most of the times commercial gyms like really frown upon using chalk. Gyms like these, like a powerlifting gym is gonna provide chalk. We clean up after the chalk, and our members know how to clean up after themselves as well. And we have people that maintain good bar integrity by cleaning up the bars after they use them. The reason why commercial gyms do not allow chalk is because like it really fucks up the bars over at the gym. What happens is that when the chalk stays on, it makes the knurling kind of like erode away over time. It speeds up that process. But we're gonna put this in here secretly. I'm not gonna mess up their bars. So we're good on that. Okay, so I think we got everything we need. We got shoes, we got a belt, we got these, our hands. That's all you really need in life. Sometimes people like over complain and just like overthink and think they should need all this special great equipment in order to get their lifts out of the way. I mean, like, this is different, but. All right, guys, so we're here at LA Fitness. Obviously, cannot walk in here with this big ass camera rig thing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera inside of my bag, and then I'll get back to you guys whenever we're actually inside the gym. All right. Okay, we've made it here to the gym. Bad news though, it is a lot better than we originally thought. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So we've been here a couple of times, and like they had hexagon plates, and that was gonna be one of the points of emphasis that we have for today's video. And they didn't have deadlift platforms either. They have like full on fucking platforms and shit. So we're still gonna emphasize some of the things that we wanted to, and just like, this isn't a great example of a commercial gym. This is like a souped up commercial gym. I don't know what happened. They probably saw us make a commercial gym video here and was like, oh hell no, we need to kind of like refurbish everything. All right, so we have the bar. These bars are, yeah, it's pretty bad. It's not like horrendous, but it's not the greatest. The reason for that is because like the middle knurling is actually pretty big. And like there's no like space in between right here where typically your shins would be at. Like I feel like if I was like a little bit bigger, it would be scraping against my shins, like the actual knurling of the bar. Okay, so let's go ahead and put the plates on the bar. Once again, guys, like chances are you might be deadlifting with a gym that has hexagon plates, or is it octagon plates? Hexagon plates, I believe. And one of the things I was gonna tell you guys, the easiest way to deadlift with hexagon plates is patience and taking your time. But I'll explain more as we start working up. And I'll also talk about how to put plates on the bar, because that takes a lot of energy, especially when there's no deadlift jacks available to you guys. It's just a lot of energy. Take off the shoes. My whole life just flashed before my eyes. All right, let's start working up to our heavy double. So we necessarily don't have to worry about this because obviously these are perfectly round plates. One of the things you want to emphasize while being in a commercial gym is the fact that you don't want to be bouncing and making a lot of noise as you're lifting. Yeah, hell yeah. So let me show you guys something. This middle knurling right here is digging into my adductors because it's so wide. So as I'm pulling, it's literally rubbing up against, like you can see right here, rubbing against my thigh. Like a normal powerlifting bar, the middle knurling is gonna be a little bit more skinnier, or at least there's gonna be a little bit more space in between the smooth part and the knurling of the bar. It's like rubbing against my thighs. Typically, when you don't have these platforms, you wanna be very, very careful with how you're warming up. Most times, people are gonna be deadlifting on this actual floor right here. Whenever you're deadlifting, right, and you're in a commercial gym, you cannot slam the weights. I'll repeat myself. You cannot, and actually you just should not slam the weights. Because number one, you're gonna draw a lot of attention to yourself. When you draw a lot of attention to yourself, you're going to attract the attention of probably the gym manager. And the gym manager's job is to oversee the upkeep of the gym and making sure that rules are being broken. Now what happens is, if you keep slamming the weights on these floors, you're gonna start creating damage to the actual floor itself. And then now you're gonna get the attention of the gym manager. It's like, all right, bro, like you're damaging our equipment. We can't have you do that. We're not gonna allow you to deadlift in the gym. So a lot of people don't realize if you are a lot more controlled and you don't make as much noise, you're not gonna attract the energy of the gym manager, right? A lot of people are like, oh, I'm not allowed to deadlift in my gym, and they kicked me out because I was slamming the weights. Well, no shit, because you're destroying the floor and you're costing the gym money, and you don't wanna do that. So if you are gonna be deadlifting on the floor itself, you wanna have a lot more control. You want to make sure you're not slamming the weights, and you just wanna make sure you're not damaging the equipment. Like, let's use our heads on that one. A lot of people just wanna come in here and start throwing the weights around. At the end of the day, you don't realize that you're damaging their equipment and you're forcing their hand. It's not that they don't want you to like deadlift. They're not trying to be assholes. It's literally just like you're destroying our equipment. As a gym owner, I understand that. If there's a lifter that came into my gym and literally every single time they lifted, they were just damaging all of my equipment, I would tell them like, bro, either go find another gym or be a lot more careful with the equipment that you're using. Can't even hear it. Nice control. No one doesn't even know I'm deadlifting unless they look at me or snitch, because I'm walking around with the cameraman with a big ass camera in a commercial gym. In a commercial gym, there's no deadlift jack, right? You have one of two options. You could either buy like a handheld deadlift jack that makes it a lot easier to change the weight or add weight onto the bar, or you could use the deadlift jack that's for free. So this here is a makeshift deadlift jack. What I like to do with these is place it under, kind of like on the, maybe like on the first two plates, and all you have to do is roll it over, and it sits on an elevated platform, which allow you to easily slide the weight on. That conserves so much more energy than having to kind of like pseudo pick up the bar, kind of push it in. You're almost doing like a quarter pull whenever you do stuff like that. I see a lot of people, they just like end up picking the bar up like that and placing the weight on, or doing anything of that. But what happens is that you're just like exerting a lot of energy, and it's gonna make your deadlift like that much harder when you get to those top sets or those working sets. So as the weight increases, it's a lot easier now to just roll it on there, elevate a platform, then look how easily the weight just slides onto the bar versus having to pick it up. Do the same thing for the other side. Easy roll, weights up. Boom. Look at that. Super duper seamless. I see a lot of people struggling to put the weight on, and they have to like jimmy it and do all this like crazy shit just to get the weight on there. Yo, just use a 5 or 2.5 pound plate. Easy work. Damn. Now we move it up to 4. Okay, so far we've knocked out 2 tips. And it's funny because those tips, like, they're very like casual, but it makes all the difference. Like, I can't tell you guys the difference of like having to constantly pick up the weight every single time you're changing or adding on to the bar as you're working up to that top set. That could be the difference between deadlifting like an all-time max versus like missing it. Just think about how many close misses you had. If you just could have conserved a little bit more energy leading up to that top set, it could have helped a lot. So we're gonna use tip number 2, roll the weight onto the plate, slide it on. Once again, guys, chances are you'll probably have like hexagon plates, so it's gonna make it a little bit different. So this tip was actually supposed to be for the hexagon plates, but they're not here, but we're just gonna act like they're here. Now imagine these plates are hexagon plates. The biggest issue with hexagon plates is the fact that it creates almost like it creates like a weird thing because like not all the plates are on the floor itself. Like you might have one that's like kind of on the tip of the hexagon, like at the corner, and then it creates like an elevated platform, and then you have other ones that are kind of twisted around. And what happens is that as you start pulling and you go in for reps, like it creates an inconsistency. So what I was going to say is that if you deadlift in a commercial gym, you're gonna have to be very, 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 very patient. More patient than you would have to be like in a powerlifting gym or a gym that has the proper equipment. And the reason being for that is because you don't want to create like inconsistencies with each rep. So like, I'll just go ahead and do a double for this set just to show you guys what I mean. But you should be patient regardless, but you almost have to be extra patient when you're in a commercial gym. So let me do, I rarely do this. I should have did this for the last set, but I'll do 2 reps here to demonstrate what I mean. So I'm gonna get under the bar, or we're gonna get on top of the bar, pull it. 1, then you come down, be quiet. Set back up. 2. Now the reason for that, once again, is because you want to allow the weight to settle and even out. So like if you notice on that second rep, I kind of like shimmied a little bit. If there was hexagon plates, they would kind of fall into line more. And then what happens sometimes is the bar might roll away from you because it's trying to even out, or maybe roll back into you and it throws your form off. That's why you have to be a little bit more consistent. Once again, these aren't the place to show you guys that because they are perfectly round, but that's deadlift tip number 3 that I wanted to let you guys know about. If you are deadlifting with hexagonal plates, you just want to make sure that you're executing patience and then hyper emphasizing technique. You want to do that all the time, but you want to really focus on that whenever you're actually in the commercial gyms with those hexagonal plates. Yo, these plates are fat. 5 plates looks like crazy on this thing right now. Honestly, I remember the days when I used to work out in LA Fitness, and like this used to save me all the time because I would just be fighting the bar, trying to put that weight on. God. I almost want to demonstrate what it's like trying to put the weight on the bar without using this thing, but actually, fuck it, let me try. You see this shit? So I almost have to like do that. Look at that shit, man. I'm almost doing like little mini rows. So anyways, that's super effective. Forgot my clips, so I'm just free balling here. Tip number 4, grip is super pivotal from what I understand. Commercial gyms don't really allow you to use because that refers back to tip number 1. Don't damage the equipment. So you have to be super low key when you're using chalk. Like we have the baggie that I grabbed before we left. And you don't want to make a mess. You don't want to do anything too crazy. Just apply it on your hands a little bit to take away the moisture so you're able to grip the bar. Guys, also, you don't need a fuck ton of chalk. Like, this is all the chalk I'm probably gonna need. I see a lot of people just overdoing it and just like making a mess. It's like, bro, you don't need that much chalk, I promise you. Like just a little bit of chalk makes all the difference. Unless like you're super duper sweaty, but chances are you won't be because you're working out in a commercial gym that has like good AC and all that. All right. Warm up, 495. Nice control back onto the ground. This is only 585 pounds, but it looks like there's like 700 pounds on here. I was like reminiscing really quickly about like what it feels like to be like working out in a commercial gym. Like for those of you guys watching, I used to be just like y'all, like, or for those of you guys that are watching that work out at commercial gyms, I used to be just like y'all, like coming to the gym, leaving my mom's crib. Leaving my mom's crib, go to the gym, workout, be amongst like, it's so weird, I guess like be amongst like average gym goers because like I lift at a powerlifting gym now, so like everyone there has like a linear focus as to what they're doing. A lot of these people are just like focused on general fitness, which isn't a bad thing, but it just like puts me back in that mode of just like grinding and like working hard. But I think one of the biggest things too is just like be mindful and respectful while you're in here. I think like with the rise of TikTok and like shithead gym goers, I think the cool thing is to like make a ruckus and make noise inside of the gym and like get kicked out and shit. I think it speaks a lot if you're able to kind of like work hard and build yourself and build your physique while being respectful, being mild-mannered in a sense of like, you know, you're not causing a problem inside of the gym. You know, that makes a huge difference. Whenever you come in here and you cause a ruckus, like I could easily be in here just like fucking blasting this weight, dropping it, making a scene, being a menace to society and all that kind of stuff, and like draw a lot of attention, but that's not the goal. Like the goal is to focus on yourself and be respectful while you're in here. And I think a lot of people run into problems because they're like, oh yeah, it's hard for me to work out in a commercial gym because I'm gonna get kicked out and like they're gonna like hate on me. It's like, nah bro, like maybe you just live like a douchebag. Like, oh, okay, anyways. This might actually be, so look at my hands. This might be enough chalk to actually get the rep out of the way. Once again, a lot of people think they need a lot more chalk than they actually need. So I'll demonstrate. Not too bad. But as you guys can see, like I don't need that much chalk. Just need a little bit to take the moisture off. That's one thing that's annoying. Like the plates just tend to kind of like, when you don't have clips, they slide. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna roll it towards the end of the bar. Make sure we push all these weights in as much as possible. And then we're gonna push this at the beginning and then move the remaining 3 plates closer. There we go. Deadlifting in a commercial gym, like you have to be a lot more patient once again, because look how much, that's only 635 pounds. And I'm saying only because the weight is damn near covering the whole bar. So I have to be patient. I can't yank it, because what's gonna happen is that if I yank it, the bar is gonna like pull and I'm not gonna go anywhere. And then it's gonna be like a delayed effect. And the weight's gonna start moving. So I need to take my time and have a slow controlled explosion. It's where like, I start applying force, the bar's gonna bend, and then it's gonna lift off the ground. You guys will see what I mean. Almost like a slow-mo, like, slow replay or something. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, this set's gonna be hard as shit. I have to, number one, pull the weight, control it, come back down and then pull it again. That in itself is gonna make it really hard. So let me get serious for a second. I was about to throw up. I started applying pressure and like food started like raveling up my stomach. Okay, so that set was a lot harder than it had to be. But I'm gonna end it here. Just wanted to do my top set and show you guys like kind of like what you could do inside of a commercial gym to make deadlifts a little bit easier. So number one, be mindful. You don't want to be slamming the weights on the ground because you're literally going to get kicked out, and then you want to be able to deadlift inside of a commercial gym. Also, just being wary of the hexagonal plates. I know like these are the round plates. We weren't able to work on those today, but you want to make sure that you're being a lot more patient than you normally would on those plates, because once again, if you're deadlifting on hexagonal plates, it's going to create an uneven surface and it's going to throw off your technique. And then just being very like low key about the chalk you may be using, because like I'm pretty sure commercial gyms don't allow chalk anyways. If you notice, there's like a little bit of chalk in here. I'm going to clean it up with one of the paper towels over there. And then also just the fact that you don't want to like lift like a douchebag. You don't want to be super loud. You don't want to be super, you just don't want to be a menace to the gym and the facility. Just be mindful, practice good patience, technique, and then also being able to use this as a deadlift jack as well. That's gonna be pivotal. Jesus, man. It's gonna be pivotal because it's gonna allow you to kind of like conserve a little bit more energy than normal, instead of just picking up the plates or just trying to like shimmy the weight onto the bar. But anyways, yeah, I feel sorry for you guys that have to help in the commercial gym. But these tips should make it a little bit easier for you guys. That's gonna do it for today's video. Like always, if you like today's video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Get better today. I'm out.